Hi guys, today we will learn what is Agile. Before learning Agile, let's go back to the traditional approach, Waterfall. What is Waterfall method? In Waterfall method, first we get the requirements, then we do the design, then we do the implementation, then we do the testing, and then we do the maintenance. These all steps work one by one. Waterfall method is useful for small duration projects. There is only one development cycle. You get the client requirements and then start work on the entire project. You can't handle changing project requirements or if the scope increases, as each phase of the whole process is carefully planned out at the start. We only test the product once the entire development phase is finished. Clients are only involved in the early stages of the project and when the final product is completed. Here is a real world example of waterfall method. Waterfall method is best suited for problems with low uncertainty. When we have to construct a building, we do all the planning before starting the building. Then we start constructing the building. It might take 2 to 3 years for completing the building, and then finally we deliver the product, which is the building. Now, what if we have a big complex project or client doesn't know all requirements in the early stage? Or project requirements can change in between or scope can increase, or client wants to use the product as soon as possible. So what is the better approach? Agile is delivering something close in short cycles, also known as iterations. We do incremental development. We divide the project in chunks and take the initial core requirements which can be implemented in the first iteration. After completion of first iteration, an increment is released. Client reviews the increment and gives feedback. Then, in the second iteration, we proceed with pending requirements and first iteration feedback given by client. After second iteration completion, again client reviews the increment and gives feedback. We take care of this feedback in the next iteration. So step by step, we are leading to more and more complete version of the project by each iteration. And finally, we deliver the complete successful project. Here is a real world example of Agile building a car. Suppose we have to build a car, we can define this process in number of iterations. In the first iteration, we can build the core structure with the basic wheels installed. And in the next iteration, we can do some improvements and build some more structure to the car body. And in the next iteration, we will install some more parts of the car. And in the final iteration, we will deliver the final product, which is the car. In each iteration, we do the plan, design, development, test, deployment, review, and launch. In the next iteration, we do the same process, which is plan, design, development, test, deploy, review, launch, and in the next iteration as well, and so on. The number of iterations depend on the size of the project, and finally, we get the final product. Benefits of Agile. As we are working in iterations and getting regular feedback, we can easily incorporate changes after each iteration. There is a term IKIWISI which means I know it when I see it. Sometimes client doesn't have the clear picture of what he needs. So he just have an idea. So after iteration, client reviews and see this is what he wants or not. So this is very helpful. Client is always involved in the process, which leads to great client satisfaction. As we are working in iterations and building the core features, client gets early access to the features and can start using the features which are developed. There is another term YAGNI which means you are not gonna need it. Sometimes what happens is we start building more features which are not even required. So client reviews after each iteration helps to avoid implementing features which are not necessary for the product and saves time and money. Following all this process, finally you deliver a successful product using Agile.